Hello friends and welcome back to Too Many Minis. My name's Ossie. I wanted to talk about what's next for Middle-earth strategy battle game because we had the Battle for Osgiliath box set before Christmas, and that kind of marks a turning point for the game, or maybe it does, we don't know, but it's definitely a kind of punctuation mark since the Pelennor box in 2018, where we had a quite consistent release pattern of plastic character boxes, new supplements, and more niche characters and troops through Forge World. Since the Osgiliath box, we haven't really got a sense of what's coming next. The things we know we're getting are the Osgiliath Terrain kit, the expanded kit with the tower and the big house, and then more of the kit that we got in the Osgiliath box. We also think we're getting this weird Ammon Hen Fallen Head statue from Forge World, because that was kind of leaked. That was a Goldfish Blue notorious scalper on eBay, put one of them up for sale. Assuming it's just a goldfish, I don't know, put up also the Gothmog character series box, which makes sense, so we imagine there's going to be that, and then the three Faramir, Damrod, Madril that came in the Osgiliath box will get their own plastic box. They come on one sprue or two, I can't remember, but they'll fit in the plastic box, just like all the other ones we've had, the three hunters or that kind of thing. That's what we know we're getting. Are we going to keep getting new supplements in the same way we had before? There were quite a lot of supplements early on in the game. We had Gondor at War, hot on the heels of the Pelennor box, and then we had Scouring of the Shire, War in Rohan. That was all quite quick. Then it slowed down. We've had Quest of the Ringbearer, Fall of the Necromancer, and then a long wait for Defence of the North. And it's been a long time now since Defence of the North released. We haven't heard anything about a next supplement. So, by the time we get one, we really are looking at a year between supplements now, which is a bit less exciting than it was just a couple of years ago, as far as kind of how much new stuff was coming for the game. But to be fair, there's only sort of so much you can do with it. The game doesn't need a great deal. It's like we do. We're like, we want more. But that's not the same as the game sort of having holes in it. As to what the next supplement can be, and there's been a few rumours going around, I found it very hard to know what to trust as that goes. That Goldfish Blue also posted up on eBay a Gulliver Terror of Arnor model, which looked like it was in the new packaging. And that does lean me towards thinking there's rumour that there's an Arnor Angmar supplement coming. I think it's a weird choice sales-wise. I think it's got like a niche following, but it's not, it's this stuff that really isn't in the films. We just had Defence of the North, which, while not depicting stuff that's in the film, does feature forces that are in the films, in the Easterlings and the kind of Erebor and Dale. Arnor Angmar is sort of, you could say they're kind of popular on the competitive scene, but even then you don't see a lot of Arnor, and the range is almost all metal for the time being. I mean, you've got one plastic kit in Arnor or one plastic kit in Angmar, basically, in the Rangers kit and the basic Orcs kit. The thing that throws that rumour off is the Elrond, the plastic Elrond with the standard bearer. Now that they've got that standard bearer model done, that's a 3D, it's a CAD model or whatever of a Rivendell elf, a high elf, and they could totally do plastic warriors or even new Forge World warriors. But I think you have to look at these kind of the battle hosts and how they're going. And I get the impression they've been a really good seller. And we've been doing our slow grow at our club, and we've seen loads of people buy into one of the four factions that've got battle hosts. We've had Mordor, Isengard, Rohan, and Minas Tirith, and they've all got plastic warrior kits, more than one of different ones, and plastic hero to lead them. There are some other forces that could do that, And you're looking at now with the plastic Elrond, you could sort of have a Rivendell one with the knights and the warriors, except the warriors are on the split sprue with the Numenorians. So it's possible now that they could do plastic warriors for the Rivendell and possibly for the Numenorians, although it's hard to imagine a plastic Numenorian hero coming, so they could do a battle host for that. It's possible, but again, it seems more far-fetched than Elrond leading a bunch of elves, because he could have in his box knights and warriors if they did a warrior sprue. Of the ones, so that could be, some people talk about the character series being like the way to get the plastic characters to lead these battle host boxes, and that's a really smart business model, and that's like what Games Workshop do with the other two big games they have. You get a Start Collecting or a Combat Patrol box, and you are getting an HQ unit, and you are getting a selection of warriors, basically. And now Middle-earth is moving into that kind of sales model, seems. If they were going to do a next wave of them with what they could do already, you can have Goblin Town with the Goblin King and goblins. It's not very exciting. It's only one warrior kit, but it's totally feasible. You could have Ents, even less exciting in a way. You'd be having Treebeard and some multiple of the plastic Ent kit. It's not super appealing, but it's possible. Dead of Dunharrow, I think, is a better one. It's the King and the Heralds, and again, just plastic warriors, but that really makes up a lot of what your Army of the Dead would be anyway. You might get a few of the Riders of the Dead, but that's it. They don't have more options. You could equally have it with the 3 hunters in it. You could do it like that. We could do Moria, but it would have to be with Balrog and goblins. That's, it's semi-appealing, but again, I think you'd want some. You're probably going to have more goblins than the Balrog can lead on his own anyway. Although that's a problem with many of these boxes. Halls of Thranduil is one they could do. Legolas and Tariel, and they've got 2 different plastic troop sprues, the Rangers and is it Palace Guard? Whichever one it is in plastic. That to me seems like a really sensible box. But, they haven't done any Hobbit era boxes yet, so we don't know. Other ones that they could do in the future, they could do a plastic Sauron, which is, you can see, if we've got a plastic Treebeard, you can really see the point of a plastic Sauron. It's a one-off character that's big and would be replacing a relatively unwieldy metal kit. And he's a huge character, figuratively and literally. So you could then have a Barad-dûr set with, some combo of the existing Mordor plastics. There are 3-4 Mordor plastic kits of warriors, so you could have Sauron leading them. You could have an army of Thror, which has 2 warrior kits but no plastic heroes. I think that's really unlikely. I just don't see them doing plastics for anybody that would be relevant there. Khazad-dûm has 2 plastic kits, Rangers and the Warriors, but no hero. It's unlikely that we get a hero for them in plastic, but not impossible. It's a popular faction. It's big in the lore. Lothlorien has 3 plastic troop sprues, the basic warriors, the Galadriel with the armor, and the mounted ones. They're not well loved sprues. Most people don't tend to like those plastics very much. But it's totally plausible that you could have a sort of Galadriel and Celeborn kit and package that as a battle host. I see that as possible. The Serpent Horde, again, unlikely that we'd get a plastic hero, but it has got 2 plastic kits plus the Mumak. Maybe you could do it with the Mumak and the plastic kits, but then price-wise, it's probably getting a bit out of the range of the battle hosts. Easterlings, I think if we were going to get a plastic Easterling hero, we'd have got them with the Defense of the North. It seems unlikely to me that they'll be getting a battle host. Azog's Hunters, again, is the demand for plastic Azog? Probably. But then they have 2 plastic warrior kits. So I think those are the ones where it's feasible to get a new battle host. And that may be a sign of what they release. The other rumour going around was that we were getting a Quest for Erebor supplement, much like the Quest of the Ringbearer, tying in all the Hobbit era scenarios into one campaign that you can go through, and it would give them a chance to revisit some Hobbit characters that they haven't done and things. and it'd be mostly a book. Much like the Quest of the Ring Bearer is more a book than a release of than a range of models. Like, say you had Defense of the North, came with this swathe of dwarves, Dale men, and lots of Easterling stuff. But yeah, Quest of the Ring Bearer didn't see a lot of releases for it, just a couple. And I can see a Quest for Erebor being much like that, a book. The idea around The Last Alliance is that it was on the cards early in this edition, and then got put on the shelf because of the impending Amazon show. Now the Amazon show has been out and hasn't done licensing with anything. I mean, you go on Amazon right now and search for Rings of Power, and you will not find any Rings of Power merchandise whatsoever for sale. It just doesn't exist. They haven't licensed a thing. So that kind of shows you where Amazon are at. They're about getting people to sign up for Prime. They're not about merchandising their shows. They may not even have the rights to do merchandise for it, for all I know. I mean, the deal is pretty opaque. The big change, though, is this deal between Games Workshop to make Warhammer TV shows on Prime with Henry Cavill. That means that they are at least talking to each other. Amazon Prime and Games Workshop, lawyers, those people are talking to each other. And that may have a knock-on where Amazon might start selling Games Workshop products, and they might be able to talk to them about the possibility of doing a game based on the Prime show. Prime show is very divisive. I'm a fan. Lots of people aren't. Games Workshop may not want to touch it because of that kind of ambivalence. But it means that the situation that the Last Alliance is in and the Second Age armies are in has changed, and so possibly now we could see that Last Alliance supplement Anarion and the other things that people have wanted for that. And again, I still think that's the most likely chance of a new plastic kit would be Rivendell and or Numenor separately as Plastic Warriors. I think they were pretty clear that we weren't getting Plastic Warriors through this edition, but now with the new, we don't know if things are carrying on the same, basically. We know that the character models is carrying on. That's it. That's all we know. We don't know what the supplements are. Rob, who runs the Middle-earth product line, is also working on the Old World, the kind of relaunch of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. That's got to be a lot of work. I think Dan is also working on that. Jay Clare does rules for Blood Bowl, at least, if not some more games now. So that team works on other things. They're not all dedicated to Middle-earth all the time. So we don't really know what we can expect over the next couple of years. It's 4 years basically between the 2018 Pelennor box and the Osgiliath box. We don't know what to expect in the next 4 years. We really don't. Until we start settling into some sort of release schedule, we don't really know what it's going to be. They've stopped doing event reveals for the most part. Like, it used to be like you go to the GT, you go to Throne of Skulls, and there's going to be a seminar at the end and they can announce things. And that's where you first hear about them. That's not happening now. Things are being done mostly via the Warhammer community team, Adam Troke and the other guy, doing, kind of live shows on Twitch, revealing things for a number of different games. So we really don't know when something will come or when we'll find out anything. But it is surely the longest we've gone without knowing what's coming next for the game, at least in recent memory, last 5 years. So we don't have a lot to go on. The Amon Hen piece of terrain, it's a weird one. I don't know what that's linked to. I really don't know where that fits in with anything. The only other clue we might have is that it would be good in a way to have something that follows on from the Osgiliath box. And that's where I think, some kind of look at the fiefdoms, which is one of the most expandable bits of lore they still have from a kind of generating troops point of view. Could they do some sort of new Battle of Pelennor Fields kind of supplement, something to do with that core bit of the War of the Ring? That would make sense too. So it's like between that, The Last Alliance, Angmar Arnor, and a quest for Erebor. Those to me seem like the 4 possibilities. Something could come out of left field and be completely different, you know. Let me know if you know anything. Hit me up. Let me know. I'm really kind of excited to see what's next. I enjoyed the stuff we got for Defense of the North. It was a lot actually when you look back on it. So I'm excited to see what's next. Please subscribe to the channel. Well, I want more subscribers. I want to get to 1,000. That's my goal. That's my goal in life. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.